This morning, President Trump firing back, calling the Jeffrey Epstein controversy a scam and a distraction. This comes as the Justice Department prepares to make a second visit to meet with Epstein associate and co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with those details.
This morning, President Trump turning to social media, blaming Democrats for using the Jeffrey Epstein controversy to distract from his first 6 months in office. Trump comparing the investigation to what he called the Russia hoax, saying, quote, "They have gone absolutely crazy," adding, "As things are revealed, and I hope will take place quickly, you will see that it is yet another Democrat con job." But the pressure to release the files is a bipartisan effort, Democrats and Republicans demanding answers.
I want all the information out.
Just put everything out, make it as transparent as you can.
Release the damn files.
It comes as the Deputy Attorney General prepares to meet again today with Ghislaine Maxwell, following a 6-hour meeting Thursday. The closed-door meeting is part of the Justice Department's investigation into how Epstein evaded accountability for decades. Although sources say it was Maxwell who reached out to the DOJ to request the meeting.
Well, she answered all the questions and answered them honestly.
It comes amid new concerns for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. Democratic lawmaker Ayanna Pressley, a sexual assault survivor herself, with this warning.
I fear that we've lost the plot, that people have gotten so caught up in what they perceive to be the political gamesmanship and sport of this, that they are losing sight of the survivors.
Annie Farmer sharing her story with ABC News, saying she was lured by Maxwell and Epstein to his New Mexico ranch when she was underage.
It's very disappointing that these things are happening behind closed doors without any input from the people that the government asked to come forward and speak against her in order to put her away. You know, there were so many young girls and women that were harmed by her.
Maxwell is serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking and other charges. She's currently appealing her conviction to the Supreme Court. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Good morning, Owasso. This is Chad with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. Well, as you can see from that little story right there, we're going to be talking about Ghislaine Maxwell coming forward and naming names now. And, you know, I agree that this is a good thing. You know, hopefully she doesn't get, completely, all of her charges completely dropped. She still needs to be punished for what she's done. But this is a good thing, in my opinion, because if we can actually get some names and lists out about what this was, we're winning. We're getting the list. We're getting understanding what the depths of Epstein's crimes. And that's really what we all want in the long run here. So I have an article today that we're going to be talking about, a couple of different articles, and how the Democrats are backpedaling now about wanting the list. Like I said, when the Pam Bondi bombshell just ended up flat and just was awful, all the Democrats were demanding, we need that list. Trump is hiding that list because his name is on it. They were all gung-ho about it. Then the moment that Ghislaine Maxwell is like, I'll name names, Democrats oh, well, we don't think that you should be talking to this lady, why on earth is it not okay now? What changed? So suspicious, very suspicious. So we're going to start here with this article here. Ghislaine Maxwell gives U.S. Department of Justice details on 100 different people linked to Jeffrey Epstein, lawyers say. Ghislaine Maxwell is finally able to say what really happened, her lawyer claims, as the convicted sex trafficker meets with the top White House official. Let's see here. Ghislaine Maxwell will finally be able to ask what really happened, her lawyer says, as the convicted sex trafficker met with the top White House officials for a second day. On Friday, U.S. time, it was reported, go away, don't need that. It was reported that Maxwell discussed around 100 different people linked to the late pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein. That's it. That's literally all there is to this article. There we go. As Donald Trump left for a visit on the UK on Friday, he was asked if he was considering pardoning Maxwell, the accomplice of Epstein. He replied that he hadn't, and thought that it was and thought about it, but also said that he would be allowed to do it. Trump then dramatically added that he too had the list of names connected to Epstein and offered to reel off a few of the reporters. However, he says that former President Barack Obama owes me big. After he concedes he now might be liable for prosecution for what Trump has termed treason, due to the Supreme Court ruling that Mr. Trump himself pushed for to protect him against charges related to his actions in office. Trump says that he has the list of names linked to Epstein. The tumult over the Epstein files has been consumed the Trump administration for 3 weeks after the Justice Department said that it would not release any more files on the matter and that there was no Epstein Client List. Last week, more images emerged of Donald Trump with his Epstein, while the Wall Street Journal also reported that the U.S. president had told his name was on the file held by the Justice Department. The White House has pushed back on reports due to how many people Epstein knew, and it's likely many names are contained on the files that are there. No suggestion of wrongdoing, just simply being mentioned that could be that includes Mr. Trump. Despite the Justice Department saying that there was no client list, as he boarded Air Force One for Scotland on Friday, Mr. Trump said that he had a list of Epstein associates. You should focus on Bill Clinton. You should focus on former president of Harvard. You should be focused on the hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list, he said. Again, there is no evidence of any wrongdoing by those Mr. Trump mentioned. 100 different people on Friday. U.S. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanchett met with Ghislaine Maxwell for the second day of questioning at a federal courthouse in Tallahassee, Florida, close to where she was imprisoned for sex trafficking, including that of a minor, among other crimes. After meeting, Maxwell's lawyer, David Marcus, said that he had provided the Department of Justice with the names of around 100 people in connection with Epstein. This was the first opportunity she had ever been given to answer the questions about what happened, said Mr. Marcus. The truth will come out about what really happened with Mr. Epstein, and she, the person who's answered those questions. Asked about the possible pardon by President Trump for Maxwell, Mr. Marcus said that Mr. Trump was the ultimate deal maker. We haven't spoken to the president or anybody about the pardon just yet, and listen to the president this morning, said that he had the power to do so, he told reporters. We hope he exercises that power right and in a just way. Maxwell finally be able to say what really happened. Earlier, Mr. Marcus said that if you look up the scapegoat in the dictionary, Maxwell's face would be there. We'll be grateful for this opportunity to finally be able to say what really happened, and that's what we're going to do yesterday and today. We just asked for folks to look at what she says with an open mind, and that's what the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanchett, has promised us, and everything she can be corroborated with, and she is telling the truth. She got no reason to lie, and she's going to keep telling the truth, Marcus claimed. Maxwell's meeting really stinks. On Capitol Hill, Democrat Senator Richard Bermethal said that it's a secret meeting and it really stinks, and it looks like some kind of cover-up. There have been calls for the meeting to be recorded. Democrat Congressman Robert Garcia, who is on the White House Oversight Committee, said was incredibly suspicious and dangerous and was concerned that no members of the committee were present. She probably wants a pardon from Donald Trump, so her meeting with the Trump Department of Justice cannot be trusted, and anything she says must be collaborated with documents and record from the actual Epstein files, he said. So, again, there it is. Democrats are not happy about this. They're all like, they need to be released, and now that we're trying to actually get names and corroborate names on this list, no, they can't be released now. So Democrats have done a 180 again. It was when Obama and Biden were in office, no talk of Epstein. All that's just conspiracy theory knowledge. Only right-wing conspiracy theorists believe that the Epstein killed himself and that there's a client list. That's what we always heard from people on the left, all the politicians on the left. The moment Trump gets to office, says he's going to release it, and then drops the bomb on it, or Pam Bondi just is like, nope, we're not releasing anything else. They're like, they're hiding something. We need this stuff to be released. And then the moment Ghislaine Maxwell, I'll come forward. I'll talk. I'll name names. Democrats. No, we can't trust her. We demand that this be all recorded and we be there too. It's like, what is going on here? Why are Democrats flip-flopping like this constantly? That's because there's no consistency with the people on the Democratic Party, ever. Democrats request a copy of the Epstein birthday book. House Democrats on Friday sent a letter to Mr. Epstein's estate requesting a complete copy of the birthday book, which reportedly contains a letter and sketch of a naked woman Mr. Trump sent to commemorate the pedophile financier's birthday, which also there is no credibility to that. All it says is from Donald. As if there's not more than one Donald in this world that Jeffrey Epstein probably knew. But anything that they can try to use to get Trump in trouble, they're going to use, because there's literally been no corroboration that is Donald Trump's signature. There's nowhere on there. It's ridiculous that's how little that they can do. It's like, there's not Donald Trump, it's just Donald, signed by Donald. It's ridiculous. In the letter, California Congressman Robert Garcia and Ro Khanna requested a complete and unredacted copy of the book, which they say may provide information essential to further our constitutional obligations, congressional efforts by August 10th. As President Trump continues his desperate attempts to quell the public interest in the release of the files related to his long-term friend, convicted sex offender, and child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, we write with a deep concern regarding the potential public corruption, abuse of power, and failures of the federal law enforcement response to the Epstein case, they wrote in a letter. The book was compiled by Maxwell to commemorate Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003. The Wall Street Journal reported last week that Mr. Trump was sent a birthday sketch featuring a naked woman to Epstein, which Maxwell planned to give him on his birthday album. Mr. Trump, who denied he sent a message for a book, has said that he cut ties prior to Epstein's legal issues and the fact barred him from Mar-a-Lago. Claimed Clinton also sent Epstein a birthday message on Thursday. Yeah, and that's the other thing. If Clinton sent him one too, why don't they ever focus on that? It's always Donald Trump. The media will always jump to Donald Trump every single time. It doesn't matter if Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, whoever the heck is having like a bad day or did something unscrupulous, they just don't ignore it. It's just always Donald Trump. It's every single time Donald Trump. Trump, Trump, Trump. It's Trump derangement syndrome. On Thursday, the U.S. Time on the Wall Street Journal reported that Bill Clinton, who was the U.S. president much of the 90s, also sent Mr. Epstein a message for his now infamous 50th birthday album. His reported message book, assuring it isn't is a long-lasting across all years of learning and knowing adventures, not legible word, and also to have your childlike curiosity to drive and make a difference and a solace of friends. Mr. Clinton has not commented, but a spokesman said that he stopped associating with Epstein years before the arrest and was not aware of the claims. And remember, Bill Clinton has actually been to the island. It's been reported that many other notable people wrote notes for the birthday book, including a fashion designer, Vera Wang. Trump denies that he told his name was on the Epstein file. Mr. Trump on Friday denied that he was informed on his name appearing in the Epstein files, despite reports of Attorney General Pam Bondi brief him on the matter in May. No, I was never briefed. No, Mr. Trump told reporters after arriving in Scotland. I really have nothing to say about it. The Wall Street Journal earlier this week reported to Mr. Trump was told in May that his name was in the file. The White House said that it was fake news. The newspaper stated that Attorney General Pam Bondi told Mr. Trump that his name appeared multiple times in the document in the Justice Department's possession relating to the pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein. Simply appearing in the documents does not mean any wrongdoing occurred. The Wall Street Journal reported that the Justice Department told Mr. Trump that the files contain unverified hearsay about many people, including Trump, according to officials. Obama owes me big, Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump said that on Friday, Barack Obama owes me big after he conceded the former president might not be liable for prosecution following his claims raised by his administration. For days, National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard had been lambasting Obama, accusing his administration of conspiracy to undermine Trump's first term, which she labeled treasonous. That so-called conspiracy related to the claims of Russia interference in the 2016 election. Mr. Obama's spokesperson last week issued a rare statement saying that claims are outrageous and bizarre and a weak attempt at distraction from the Epstein saga. Mr. Trump seems to have conceded that Mr. Obama could never be charged because of the Supreme Court ruling last year in Trump's favor. The court ruled that the presidents have immunity from criminal prosecutions, most acts in office. That was brought by Mr. Trump, who was facing down multiple court cases, including that he allegedly tried to overturn the, I'm assuming that that's a typo there, but yeah, the 2020 election. He owes me big. Obama owes me big, said Mr. Trump. It probably helps him a lot, probably helps him with the whole immunity ruling. Many of Ms. Gabbard's and Mr. Trump's claims simply don't hold water, and it would never get that far anyway. As such, Mr. Obama may not owe him anything. Yep. They really like how this whole thing was about Epstein, and then that last little bit right there completely talks about something different. So, but that's what the mainstream media does. But then we have this article right here. Schumer condemns DOJ meeting with Maxwell. Stinks of high corruption. State Department Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat, New York, on Thursday condemned that the Justice Department's meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted sex offender, associate of disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, sending Donald Trump's personal lawyer, Todd Blanchett, to interview Ghislaine Maxwell while she's in prison, a woman who's been convicted of abusing people, to offer some kind of corrupt deal so that she can exonerate Donald Trump. Just stinks of high corruption, Chuck Schumer said in a video posted to the platform on X Thursday. Blanchett's meeting with Maxwell on Thursday in Tallahassee, Florida. Mr. Trump's administration has been facing heat for the last few weeks for the handling of the information to Epstein for both Democrats and Republicans, with the saga throwing Congress into chaos. On Wednesday, the House broke for a weeks-long August recess, shutting down a day earlier plan that the chamber was stuck in a logjam over the Epstein controversy. It's the first day in the House Republicans fleeing town for their Epstein recess. They hightailed it out of there, hoping to hide the story, but the story is growing louder by the hour with Trump and his administration's lies, Schumer said in another Thursday post on X. The Hill has reached out to the White House and the House Republicans conference for a meeting. When reached for a comment on Chuck Schumer's post on Ghislaine Maxwell, the Justice Department said it had none. And then I literally just saw I forget what congressperson it was, but they just talked about this, about how it is natural, or it is standard SOP that they dismiss in August due to like a tradition in Congress from like way back when we first started started our government in the House of Representatives and all that. It's because it got too hot in the summers to do any work in August, in which that's where the nickname the swamp comes from, because everyone would just be sweating in there. So they do this every year. Congress always breaks in August. Always breaks for August. And they just go home where they can campaign and do whatever. So this is a normal thing, and then Chuck Schumer here is lying about it, saying, oh, Republicans are fleeing home because they don't want to vote on the Epstein thing. It's like, not true. This is a normal thing that happens every year, and Chuck Schumer's using the people who don't know any better to just do this stuff. It's absolutely insane, but that's what Democrats do. It's like, look, they just go, look, we can use this as an opportunity to make it look like Republicans are fleeing the state, which, I mean, they have air conditioning now. They don't need to break for August anymore. It's not like back in the day where they didn't have air conditioning. They all had just to sit there and bake in a hot building all summer. So this is absolutely ridiculous. Chuck Schumer, who was like, all these Democrats, again, the Democrats are flip-flopping. It's, no, he's we need this released. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's meeting with Maxwell. Oh, this is suspicious. We shouldn't let them do this. Let's not talk about this. So it's so stupid. They can't stay consistent. The Democrats never are consistent on anything, I swear. But we'll go ahead and we'll get over to this right here, and we'll talk about these new photos that everyone keeps talking about right now.
Photos of Jeffrey Epstein attending the wedding of Donald Trump and Marla Maples. CNN has uncovered archive photos and videos that sheds new light on the relationship between Trump and Epstein. In December 1993, Epstein was photographed walking into the Plaza Hotel, confirming that he was a guest at Trump's second wedding to Marla Maples. And a few months earlier, Epstein was photographed with Donald Trump and two of his children at the opening of the Harley-Davidson Cafe in New York. And footage from a 1999 Victoria's Secret fashion show in New York shows Trump and Epstein laughing and chatting ahead of the runway event with then Melania Noss. All three were later spotted sitting front row as models walked down the runway. These photos and videos were taken years before the first allegations surfaced that Epstein sexually abused underage girls, and Trump has not been accused of any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein by law enforcement. But they come amid new scrutiny over the relationship between the two men after the Justice Department's recent decision not to release long-promised files related to the Epstein case. I called the president and asked him about this, and he said he didn't want to talk to, quote, fake news. Later in a statement to CNN, the White House called the photos, quote, out-of-context frame grabs of innocuous videos and pictures, and that the president previously kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago for, quote, being a creep. It's clear that the two men ran in the same social circles, but some corners of Trump's MAGA movement have become critical of Trump's handling of the case, and more questions are left on how close the two men were and why their relationship soured. You're looking at newly...
Again, why is it that reporters are always, especially CNN reporters, are always these soy boy looking guys? Like, can we talk about this stuff today? Look, here's Trump and Epstein. It's always these little soy boy looking guys. Like, why? But that's the type of people that those career fields like attract. It's either women or very soft-spoken guys. That's what it seems to be. It's very strange. It's very strange indeed. But again, just like everything that they can do turns into, oh, here's Trump pictures of people. Epstein has the pictures with lots of people. He was a New York socialite. Donald Trump was a New York socialite. It seems to reason that they're going to meet at parties. If you're a New Yorker in the high society type things, you're going to get invited to the same events. It doesn't mean that you're best friends. But that brings to the next one here of this lawyer right here, this guy getting interviewed right here. Attorney Brad Edwards, who represented 70 Epstein victims and spent a decade on the case, sets the record straight on Donald Trump. So let's check this out. And here's something. This is, again, an independent journalist. This is not something that the mainstream media, CNN, are going to bring on. They're not bringing this guy on to help, talk about Donald Trump. They're just going to talk about the bad things. So check this out.
Our current president has had relationships with Epstein in the past, and there are those Katie Johnson and maybe other victims who accuse Trump of being involved in things like this. In my experience, Trump supporters will not listen to anything along those lines. Obviously, we're not a court of law here right now, but are those claims of that case was dropped? It was dropped before it went to court. In your opinion, as a lawyer and your experience, is there anything you can say as to the validity of those claims, or whether or not there will be any more about that?
Nothing at all. The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them, he is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave.
Obviously, our current president.
And gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
That was in 2009?
That was in 2009. So,
do you know if there's any truth to James Patterson's claims that Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago?
I've definitely heard that. And
yeah. So, one of the few people that openly talked about Epstein to a lawyer who didn't probably call their attorney first and then kicked Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago, residence or whatever. It's It's like, yeah, what's going on here? It's like, we don't see this. This doesn't get talked about on the mainstream media news. Nope. But, he might have sent him a birthday card. There's a name Donald on there. It must be Donald Trump. Despite there is no proof. There's no hard proof of that. It's absolutely insane. But that is what the media does. The media will constantly lie and cover for Democrats, but they will not do the same for Republicans. Again, it's every year. Bill Maher did the exact same thing. George W. was Hitler. Mitt Romney was Hitler. What's his name? John McCain, Hitler. Then he goes, well, maybe Bush and all those other ones that were after weren't Hitler, but Trump really is Hitler. That's how it always is. The next Republican, which is probably going to be J.D. Vance, unless some other Republican like DeSantis or somebody else rolls up out of nowhere, it's going to be the same thing. It's like, oh, this guy is literally Hitler. The left does the exact same thing every single time. It is absolutely ridiculous. But we'll get started on this right here and like how the left is completely talk about like posting your L's, Democrats. Check this out.
Well, a swing and a miss from the Democrat-run X page. The DNC tried slamming President Trump in a now-deleted post, showcasing the cost of groceries skyrocketing. Now, they tried to compare the cost of cheese, alcohol, grocery, and meat, writing, quote, Trump's America. But there's only one problem. Those prices soared under President Biden's watch, while the White House rapid response team wasted no time publicly correcting the Dems' mistake. Here's the updated look. The social team added a Biden label with 2 arrows pointing to the price jumps under his administration, clearly highlighting the massive spike on household necessities in deep red. Well, a swing and a miss.
Which we have that right here. Said end wokeness. Ha 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 ha. Holy crap. The Democrats just deleted a chart that they posted after staffers realized the data implicates them for the inflation. And there's that right there is like U.S. grocery prices research records in 2025. And it's the exact same chart that we just saw. Then you go to that same page and it says, oops, this post has been deleted. So, yeah, absolutely hilarious. Talk about posting your L's. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yes, and then the whole thing that we were talking about the other day with Hunter Biden and Democrats wanting to bring in slave labor. And this is just a great... These AI memes are getting ridiculous. I love them. They are hilarious, so check this out.
I hate Abraham Lincoln. Why would he try to free my slaves? I won't deport you as long as you keep working for a crappy wage. I hate Abraham Lincoln. Why would he try to free my slaves? I won't deport you as long as you keep working for a crappy wage.
True story. They are quite literally human trafficking, and they want cheap labor. That's all this is. That's all this is turning into. Like, the part that's like, oh, we care about people. Like, you care that your wage, that your goods stay cheap. That's what they care about. They could care less about the people because it's amazing how they're like, we're going to fight for you and getting you good wages. Except for the illegals that we claim to care about and we love so much. We don't care about their wages. So Democrats have honestly proven right here, that's why these memes are so great. Is like they've proven that they don't give a crap about these people. It's like, yeah, you can come to America as long as you don't get paid too much. You're going to be poor and in poverty. We care about you to bring you in, but not enough to pay you. And that's all this is, every single time. Which brings this SKS cartoon. Says, without these effing slaves, who would effing gonna pick the effing cotton? It's like, yeah, that's exactly his little interview. It's like, who's gonna do all those jobs that you don't want to do? It's like, well, Americans will do jobs that they don't want to do. People don't want to do 90% of the jobs that they're working at. That's the thing. It's like, what is it, like only like 1% of people actually work in a career field that they actually truly enjoy and then they really love? So most people are working a job that they don't like. if people will do just about any job in the world if you pay them enough for it. That's the problem, is like people don't want to stay working in a career field where there's no upward advancement, or at least no like guarantee that you're going to get a higher paycheck every year. That's why they change career fields. Like, I'm going to go somewhere that pays me better. People will be willing to do manual labor jobs if they get paid better. That's the issue here. It always has been. If you were paying, like, let's say you were paying like $40 an hour to go mow lawns or whatever it happens to be, there's a bunch of people that be like, oh, if you're going to pay me $40 an hour to go mow a lawn, I'll be mowing lawns all day. But that's not how that works. That is not how it works. Anyway, so we'll move on to the next one. See here. Oh, yeah. Tariffs. Regarding tariffs. Obama, tariffs help strengthen America. Liberal response. We agree. Trump, tariffs are needed to regain control. Liberal response. He's a fascist. Let's check out Obama talking about tariffs here.
Argument is, number one, that's the biggest market in the world. Number two is those countries are already selling to us. I keep on pointing out there are a lot of Japanese cars here in the United States, almost no U.S. cars in Tokyo. Number three is that if we don't write the rules, China will write the rules out in that region. We will be shut out. American businesses, American agriculture, that will mean a loss of U.S. jobs. The argument is, number one, that's the biggest market in the world. Number two is those countries are already selling to us. I keep on pointing out there are a lot of Japanese cars here in the United States, almost no U.S. cars in Tokyo. Number three is that if we don't write the rules, China will write the rules out in that region. We will be shut out. American businesses, American agriculture, that will mean a loss of U.S. jobs. The argument is, number one, that's the biggest market in the world. Number two is those countries are already selling to us. I keep on pointing out there are a lot of Japanese cars here in the United States.
Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But that's Democrats. Like I said, if we're doing it, it's a good thing. If the Republicans are doing it, it's a bad thing. That's the thing. They always have to show that their political opponents are doing bad, even when they're doing good or doing great. It's like you can't let your enemies have a win. And that's the problem, is the Democrats see Republicans as their enemies, not as their rivals or political opponents. They see us as their enemies. And you can't let your enemies win. The next one is, here, it's okay. She's transgender, and it's a guy flashing a little girl, and he's got lipstick on, and it's the Democrats being like, it's okay, she's transgender. Yeah, that's the issue. Like, this is the problem. This is what Democrats are all for and all about right now. It's like they're about protecting a minority, but not about protecting children. And the same thing with the immigration policy that we've been talking about is that's the case for that too. It's like they're bringing in letting human traffickers abuse children. That is what this mass open door immigration policy is also talking about. It's like you are not helping anybody. You're not helping children. In fact, you're part of the reason why these children are being abused as they're coming across the border. And again, what type of good parent, like you say, like, oh, these people just want a better life. Like, what type of parent would force their child to walk across a desert with human traffickers to get to America? That is evil. That is wrong. If you wouldn't do it with your child, then it's wrong. If it's not something that you would be okay with your child doing, it's wrong. Yeah, and then this one's good, the left. It's like, we live on stolen land and borders are just imaginary lines. The left can't make up their mind. I love it. I absolutely love it. But that's pretty much all I've got for today. This was Chad with Owasso Live. This was The Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that is really all I've got for today. I'm going to end it out with one of those videos again about the information on Donald Trump, but that's really all I've got for today. So I will catch you all on the next one. So God bless you, and I'll see you next time. See you later, everybody.
Long before Donald Trump was president and Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide in a jail cell, they were poster boys for the New York City party scene in the 90s. The pair reportedly met in 1990 after Epstein bought a mansion in Palm Beach, just a few miles from Mar-a-Lago. As Epstein was climbing the ranks of high society, Trump appeared to be in his social circle. In 1992, Trump and Epstein were spotted by NBC cameras at a Mar-a-Lago party, laughing and dancing to the hit song Rhythm is a Dancer by Snap. In 1995, Epstein moved into a Manhattan townhouse 1 mile away from Trump's penthouse in Trump Tower. Trump flew on Epstein's private jet between New York and Florida. And in 2002, the president famously told New York Magazine that Epstein was a terrific guy. Trump told the magazine, "He is a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." In 2004, Epstein and Trump had a falling out. When Trump outbid him on a mansion, he later flipped. Trump and Epstein reportedly did not speak for 15 years before his death. Epstein was convicted of paying teenage girls for sex in 2008. In 2019, federal prosecutors accused Epstein of a sex trafficking scheme, but he died before the case went to trial. The president has not been accused of any wrongdoing in the Epstein case, but Trump's name is among the dozens of celebrities, politicians, and business moguls connected to the billionaire. Though Epstein has been dead for almost 6 years, his name has come up again and again since the White House tried to close the book on the case during Trump's second term. Even as Trump supporters push for the Justice Department to release more evidence, Trump claims to be baffled by the attention.
He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't.
Long